What if the reason your knees and back hurt every day isn't just because you're getting older, but because no one ever showed you the simple things that actually help? Imagine getting out of bed with less stiffness, walking with more confidence, and not having to brace yourself every time you stand up. In the next few minutes, I'm going to share gentle, natural ways seniors can ease knee and back pain, using easy movements and small daily habits that truly support your joints. No harsh workouts, no complicated routines, just practical relief your body will thank you for. A lot of people grow up hearing the same message over and over again. Aches and pains are just part of getting older, so you might as well get used to them. By the time someone reaches their 70s or 80s, they've often been told this so many times that they start to believe discomfort is unavoidable and that nothing they do will really change it. But that idea simply isn't the full picture. Yes, the body changes with age, and yes, joints may feel stiffer than they once did, but that doesn't mean pain has to keep increasing or that relief is out of reach. The human body is incredibly adaptable, even later in life, and it still responds to gentle, consistent care. One of the biggest shifts that can happen is in how seniors think about pain. Instead of seeing it as a life sentence, it can be seen as information. Pain often shows up when joints are under more stress than they can comfortably handle, or when the muscles that are supposed to support those joints have become weak or tight. That doesn't mean damage is always getting worse. Sometimes it means the body simply needs better support and smarter movement. When muscles get a little stronger and a little more flexible, they can take pressure off sensitive areas like the knees and lower back, which can reduce daily discomfort in a very real way. Gentle movement is one of the most powerful tools for this, and it doesn't have to look like traditional exercise. It can be as simple as short walks, slow leg lifts from a chair, or easy stretches done while holding onto a counter. These kinds of movements increase blood flow, which brings nutrients to tissues and helps joints stay healthier. Movement also signals to the nervous system that the body is capable and active, which can actually help turn down pain signals over time. When the body stays still for too long, stiffness increases and muscles weaken, which often makes pain worse, not better. Another important piece is understanding that progress doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. If getting out of a chair feels a little easier than it did last month, that's improvement. If morning stiffness fades a bit faster after a warm shower and a few gentle stretches, that's improvement too. These small changes add up, and they show that the body is still listening and responding. Seniors are not fragile by default. They are often just deconditioned from years of being told to slow down too much or avoid movement altogether. With patience, kindness toward the body, and steady habits that focus on support rather than strain, many older adults find they can move with more comfort than they thought possible. Even after years of assuming things would only go downhill, many people focus all their attention on the exact spot that hurts, rubbing their knees or pressing a hand into their lower back, assuming the problem starts and ends right there. But in a lot of cases, the real issue is happening in the muscles that surround and support those joints. The knees and the spine don't work alone. They rely on a team of muscles in the thighs, hips, buttocks, and abdomen to help control movement and absorb force. When those muscles get weak or tight over time, the joints end up handling more stress than they were designed for, which can lead to ongoing discomfort. Take the knees, for example. Every time you stand up, sit down, or walk across a room, your knee joints are under load. Strong thigh muscles, especially the quadriceps in the front of the legs and the hamstrings in the back, act like shock absorbers. They help guide the knee through smooth movement and reduce the direct pressure inside the joint. But if those muscles have weakened from years of less activity, the knee can feel unstable and overworked. This often shows up as aching when climbing stairs, getting out of a chair, or walking for longer periods. Gently strengthening these muscles can shift some of that workload away from the joint itself, which often leads to noticeable relief. The hips play a huge role too, even though many people don't connect hip muscles with knee or back pain. The muscles around the hips help control how the legs move and how the pelvis is positioned. If the hips are weak, the knees may collapse inward slightly when walking or standing up, which increases strain on the inner part of the knee. At the same time, tight hip muscles can limit normal movement, forcing the lower back to twist and bend more than it should. Over time, this extra strain can lead to stiffness and soreness in the lower spine. The core muscles are another key part of the support system. These include the deep abdominal muscles and the muscles along the spine that help keep the torso stable. When these muscles are weak, The lower back doesn't have the steady support it needs during everyday movements like bending, reaching, or standing for a while. This can make the back feel tired, tight, or painful, even during simple tasks. Gentle core engagement exercises can help create a natural brace for the spine, reducing unnecessary stress on the joints and discs. Tightness can be just as problematic as weakness. Muscles that stay shortened for long periods, often from sitting a lot, can pull the body out of alignment. Tight hip flexors, for instance, can tilt the pelvis forward and increase pressure on the lower back. Tight hamstrings can limit how the hips move, again pushing extra strain into the spine. Slow, comfortable stretching helps restore balance so the joints can move more freely, and with less irritation. When strength and flexibility gradually improve together, the body becomes better supported. Movements feel smoother, and the joints are no longer forced to do more than they comfortably can. One of the most powerful things seniors can do for knee and back pain is also one of the simplest, and that is gentle, low-impact movement done on a regular basis. It might not look impressive, and it certainly doesn't have to leave anyone sweaty or out of breath, but this kind of steady activity does something very important inside the body. Joints don't have a strong direct blood supply like muscles do, so they rely heavily on movement to bring in nutrients and carry away waste products. When you move, even in small amounts, you help circulate joint fluid, which acts like a natural lubricant and cushion inside the knees and along the spine. Walking is one of the best examples of this. A comfortable, unhurried walk encourages the muscles in the legs, hips, and lower back to gently switch on and do their job. These muscles start to share the load that would otherwise fall directly on the joints. Over time, this can reduce the feeling of grinding, stiffness, or deep aching that often shows up after long periods of sitting. The key is keeping the walks short and manageable, especially at first. A few minutes at a time, once or twice a day, can be far more beneficial than a long walk that leaves someone sore and discouraged. Consistency teaches the body that movement is safe, and that message alone can help calm pain signals. Seated exercises are another excellent option, especially for those who feel unsteady on their feet. Simple movements like slowly straightening and bending the knee while sitting in a sturdy chair can help strengthen the thighs without putting full body weight through the joint. Ankle pumps, gentle marching in place while seated, or lightly squeezing the muscles of the legs all encourage circulation and muscle activity. These small motions may seem almost too easy, but they help prevent the gradual weakening that often makes pain worse over time. For the back, slow and controlled movements are especially helpful. Gently rolling the shoulders, carefully straightening up tall in a chair, or doing mild pelvic tilts while lying down can help keep the spine from becoming stiff and locked. When the spine moves regularly in safe ranges, the surrounding muscles stay more flexible and responsive. This reduces the sudden tight grabs of pain that can happen when a stiff back is asked to move quickly after being still for too long. Low-impact movement also supports balance and coordination, which are essential for preventing falls. When seniors feel more stable, they tend to move more confidently, and that increased activity further supports joint health. It becomes a positive cycle where movement leads to less stiffness, which leads to more movement, which then builds strength and endurance in a gradual, joint-friendly way that supports long-term comfort and independence. Sometimes it's not the big workouts or special routines that make the biggest difference in knee and back pain, but the small things done every single day without much thought. Posture, footwear, sleep habits, and simple comfort measures like heat or cold can quietly influence how the joints feel from morning to night. When these everyday habits support the body instead of working against it, pain levels often become more manageable and movement feels less intimidating. Posture is a great place to start because it affects the body almost constantly. When sitting for long periods, it's easy to slide forward in the chair, round the shoulders, and let the lower back collapse. This position increases pressure on the spinal discs and can tighten the muscles around the hips, which may add strain to both the lower back and the knees when standing up. Sitting with the hips all the way back in the chair, feet flat on the floor, and the chest gently lifted helps the spine stay in a more comfortable alignment. It doesn't have to be stiff or forced, just a subtle adjustment that reduces unnecessary stress over time. Footwear also plays a surprisingly large role. Shoes that are worn down too flat or lacking support can change the way weight travels through the legs with each step. This can increase pressure on the knees and send extra shock up into the lower back. Supportive shoes with good cushioning and a stable sole can help absorb impact and encourage better alignment while walking or standing. Even inside the house, choosing supportive indoor shoes instead of thin slippers can make a noticeable difference for people who spend a lot of time on hard floors. Body weight is another everyday factor that influences joint comfort. Carrying extra weight means the knees and spine have to handle more load with each movement. The encouraging part is that even small, gradual changes in eating habits can reduce this load. Choosing more whole foods, staying hydrated, and paying attention to portion sizes can support a healthy weight without extreme diets. When combined with gentle activity, these changes can ease daily stress on the joints and improve overall energy levels. Sleep habits deserve attention too, because poor sleep often makes pain feel more intense the next day. Creating a comfortable sleep position can help reduce strain on the back. A pillow under the knees when lying on the back, or between the knees when lying on the side, can keep the spine in a more neutral position. A consistent bedtime routine and a calm sleep environment also help the body recover more effectively overnight. Heat and cold are simple tools that can be used at home to manage discomfort. Warmth helps relax tight muscles and reduce stiffness, especially before activity, while cold can calm irritated areas after movement. Used wisely, these small daily strategies support the joints in quiet, but meaningful ways that add up over time. One of the most important ideas for seniors dealing with knee and back pain is that slow and steady truly wins the race. It's easy to believe that if a little movement is good, then a lot must be better, but when it comes to aging joints, doing too much too quickly often backfires. Soreness flares up, confidence drops, and it becomes tempting to stop altogether. A gentle, consistent approach, on the other hand, allows the body to adapt gradually, building strength and resilience without overwhelming sensitive areas. The body responds best to regular signals that it is safe to move. When movement happens in small, manageable amounts day after day, muscles begin to strengthen, joints stay more lubricated, and stiffness slowly decreases. This doesn't require long workouts or high effort. Even a few minutes of walking, a handful of seated leg exercises, or light stretching done most days of the week can start to create positive changes. These small sessions are like deposits into a health savings account, and over time those deposits grow into meaningful improvements in comfort and function. Consistency also helps retrain the nervous system. Chronic pain can make the body more protective, causing muscles to tense and movements to feel threatening, even when they are safe. Gentle, repeated motion shows the body that these activities are not harmful. As confidence grows, movements often become smoother and less guarded, which further reduces strain on the joints. Skipping long periods and then suddenly doing a lot of activity can send mixed signals and lead to flare-ups, which is why a little bit done often is far more effective than occasional bursts of effort. Patience plays a big role as well. Improvements may come slowly, and they are often subtle at first. Maybe it's standing a little straighter while washing dishes, walking to the mailbox with less hesitation, or getting out of bed with slightly less stiffness. These changes might seem small, but they show that the body is adapting. When seniors focus only on eliminating pain completely, they may overlook these important signs of progress. Celebrating small wins helps maintain motivation and encourages the kind of steady habits that lead to long-term benefits. Rest and recovery fit into this balanced approach too. Being consistent doesn't mean pushing through exhaustion or sharp pain. It means listening to the body and adjusting as needed. On days when discomfort is higher, movements can be gentler or shorter, but still present. This keeps the routine alive without causing setbacks. Over weeks and months, this steady rhythm of safe movement, adequate rest, and realistic expectations helps reduce stiffness, improve mobility, and build the confidence needed to stay active and independent.